Hi, this is your pal Scott Garibay. Hi, friends. And today we're going to talk about the Numenera WUBRG campaign season 1. At this point, Bearcat is in the high north, beyond King Belvedor, beyond the Kingdom of Belvedor, and beyond the Kingdom of Quarn, and is where the Iron Yetis live. And he has gone there with Gurnigar the Wizard and with Lady Rayluna, right? And they have, and they are seeking the socketed weapons. They've been sent by King Belvor to get the socketed weapons. There are these 5 jewels, and there are these 5 socketed weapons, right? And the socketed weapons are Stonewall, and and then Black Candle, and an archery bow, and then there's 2 more. And so essentially it's a bow, a dagger, skull chopper is the, so Stonewall is the lion wall shield, and Stonewall is a tower shield, sorry, and it's got a face of a lion on it. And then a skull chopper is like this, epic long sword. And then Black Candle is this dagger. There's a very cool archery bow. I never remember the name on that one. And then there's Anvil. There's Stone Anvil, which is this great hammer, this war hammer. And so these are 5 socketed weapons, and there's 5 socketed jewels. There's the blood crystal, there's the ochre diamond, there's the emerald spike, there's frostfire, and there's one more, right? And if you want to see the names, they're all in my notes link below, and you can take a look at all our slides. Like we keep a slide deck for our material, and you use that for maps and fights and everything. It's fantastic. We really love it. And this is an online game. So all right, so the gold player. And so basically at this point, Lady Rayluna has been bit in half by a white dragon, that goes by the name Yardroth, right? So Yardroth bites Lady Rayluna in half. She's dead, okay? Gurnigar and Bearcat are trapped in an empty Iron Yeti cave, okay? And the Iron Dragon, the White Dragon is attempting to like slam its claw into this cave, and is gonna again, because it already yanked out Lady Rayluna and bit her in half, and he's gonna grab the Gurnigar or the Bearcat and bite them in half too, right? So basically Bearcat and Gurnigar look, and they realize that the back wall of the Iron Yeti's cave is ice, and so they break through that, right? I think, and basically, they work together to break through the ice. And in order to do that, they actually used some iron gauntlets. They used them together, right, and lifted them up and kind of used them as a battering ram. They shatter out the back wall, and there's 2. And I didn't say this in the last session, but I should say, there was an exploration roll to get to the ice Yeti's cave, okay? And the Ice Yeti's cave is like the fastest path to where the socketed weapons are in the mountain, right? And they were going to go a different path, but they were able to make their exploration roll, and they went the more direct route, right? And that's kind of weird, because like the gold player, the primary player, never see the player playing Bearcat. They never see that. They never see that, like, well, you avoided about like 3 encounters, and you're going to be able, and you're going a lot faster, right? But that was the case, right? So they made that exploration roll. Now they've broken through the ice wall, and then basically now there is a 100-foot drop onto shard spikes, which are onto these shard spikes, right? So now Bearcat doesn't even need to roll for this. He can take falls, like he can literally leap down on his cat-like reflexes, and he actually jumps down into this ice cavern that is behind the wall. And it's a 40-foot drop before this first huge spike of ice right? Which if you got the angle wrong on this, you would die, right? And even like the edges of the ice cliff can like cut your feet off, right? And so, but he as a monk can just literally, he can't fall, right? And so he just jumps down, and then he says, Gurnigar, make the leap, I'll catch you. Gurnigar fails his roll and becomes very damaged, right? And so he is wounded again. So Gurnigar, actually, Lady Rayluna is dead. Gurnigar is now wounded, and at this point, Bearcat uses one of his stim packs and heals Gurnigar, right? And then at the bottom of that ice cave, they find they look up, and the dragon, they see the dragon has kind of smashed through all the rock at the top and is now trying to jam his mouth down into the ice wall cave so that he can get a good shot with his breath weapon, right, on them, right? So they know they have to move, right? And so I said, okay, what you find is there's these ice flumes, right? So basically you can jump into these ice flumes, and you don't know if they'll slam into rock and you'll die, because they're at least 60, 80, 120 feet long. They could be miles long into the mountain. But you have to jump into these ice flumes, or you have to take a left and then kind of go through this rocky cavern and continue to see, and you don't know what's going to be there, right? So Gurnigar and Bearcat jump into the ice flumes, and get this, all right? The ice flumes take them directly down into the area where the socketed weapons were, just like the tome wall said they would be. So they arrive in this, they slide down, then they come into this 60-foot hallway, and then they go through the hallway, and actually, he didn't know this, but there are traps for evil creatures. So if you have evil alignment, it would have triggered traps. It didn't trigger the traps because Bearcat is of good alignment, and he has been a hero. He's like, and to be clear, Numenera would never have an alignment on a sheet, right? But Bearcat is good because he's only been doing good. He hasn't killed anybody needlessly. He protects, he saved the Fairview town. He immediately started helping these adventurers, to stabilize the kingdom and to stop war. He's been playing the part of the hero. So he gets past these traps simply from his alignment, right? Him and Gurnigar are able to walk into this room, and this room has all 5 of the socketed weapons, each with all 5 gems in them, okay? And this, this animated, ghostly voice says, "You have traveled from far, and now you may take each hero may take 1 weapon," right? So they're there, but they can't take all the weapons, right? They can only take 1 weapon each, right? So Lady Rayluna being dead is really a problem, right? So they take the weapons out, right? And so Gurnigar chooses Stonewall, the shield, and then Bearcat took Skull Chopper. So now they have the sword and the shield, right? And Bearcat, he is a rogue character who is literally in the shape of a humanoid cat, right? So this isn't for him, and so he could have taken the Black Candle to use it for himself, but they came here for King Belvoir, so they get the sword and the board. That's for King Belvoir, right? And so they take the weapons, but now they're trapped, right? And they're at the bottom, and they need to escape, right? And so the animated voice says, how do you, and it says, "You seem worried, even now that, you should be elated that you have these weapons, but heroes, why are you worried?" And Gurnigar and Bearcat speak to this animated disembodied voice, and they're like, "Well, we have these weapons, but we don't know how to escape because this dragon is on its way down to kill us, right? And we're worried about its breath weapon, whipping through that corridor right over there." And it's like, "Oh, well, I can get you out of here, right? But it will require a sacrifice, right?" So each one of them needs to sacrifice 1 gem from the socketed weapon, okay, in order to get back to King Belvoir. So that will transport them back to King Belvoir. They also need to sacrifice one of the Yeah, so they also sacrifice one of the the gems, right? And it says if you each sacrifice a gem, I can restore your, the person who came here with you. So they each bring back to King Belvor the Lion Wall, the Lion Wall and Skull Chopper, which each had all 5 gems. They were fully socketed, but they each sacrificed 2 gems to go back, right? And so they each sacrificed 2 gems to go back, and now they're able to deliver to King Belvor. So one, they return to King Bel. They're teleported to King Belvor by the disembodied voice. They're teleported back to King Belvor's throne room. They each have the socketed weapon, and each socketed weapon has 3 gems, right? So that is really cool. I was very excited about that. And also Lady Rayluna is alive with them, okay? And then we'll pick it up again in King Belvor's court. King Belvor is extremely happy, extremely thankful, and Gurnigar and Bearcat and Lady Rayluna are all heralded as heroes. And actually, Gurnigar and Bearcat do not tell King Belvor that Lady Rayluna was resurrected and really died, and was only resurrected back in King Belvor's courtyard, right? Like when they arrived. So we'll cut it off there. Thank you so much for letting me share my Numenera WUBRG campaign Season 1 recap with you. We'll pick it up there next time. Every single word you just heard is my humble opinion on socketed weapons and everything else. The important part is when I get to hear your humble opinion. When you get in the comments and send your traffic, please consider liking and subscribing, and have a fetch millennium.